From gene-edited pigs to glyphosate lawsuits that could redefine pesticide regulation, this week in ag has been anything but quiet.
Prop 12 is back in the spotlight, new food dyes are edging out synthetics, and Sprite just leapfrogged Pepsi and soda wars.
All this and more on today's episode. I'm Braeden.
And I'm Savannah.
Welcome to Magnetic Ag Ears Edition.
Every week, we break down the top headlines and trends facing food and agriculture.
Fast, fun, and actually useful. Let's get it.
A big change could be in the horizon for the swine industry.
The FDA has just approved the first ever gene-edited pigs resistant to PRRS, short for porcine reproductive and respiratory syndrome. PRRS is a highly infectious disease that costs U.S. pork producers a staggering $1.2 billion every year. Yes, with a B, not an M, but thanks to a team of scientists at PIC, a hog breeding company, there's now a solution in the form of gene-edited pigs.
So how does this work? Scientists precisely snip out a tiny portion of the pig's CD163 gene, the very site where PRRS uses to sneak into cells. Think of it like changing the lock on the door so the virus no longer has the key. No key, no infection.
And the results? Healthier pigs. Significantly reduced antibiotic use by an estimated 200%, and even environmental perks. We're talking about a projected 5% drop in greenhouse gas emissions from pork production. Matt Culbertson, PIC's Chief Operating Officer, says, "We have spent years conducting extensive research, validating our findings, and working with the FDA to gain approval. Today marks a major milestone for consumers, farmers, and the entire pork industry who have desperately hoped for a solution to PRRS."
We're going from big changes in the pork industry to legal developments with implications on crop production. Braeden?
This week, Bayer, the only U.S. manufacturer of glyphosate, is continuing its push to limit legal liabilities.
Earlier this spring, Bayer made it clear they're taking a multi-front approach to limit legal risk tied to claims that glyphosate causes cancer. We're talking over $10 billion already paid in lawsuits.
First up, on May 9th, 10 major ag groups, including the Farm Bureau and National Corn Growers, filed a brief urging the U.S. Supreme Court to step in. They're asking the court to decide if states can require additional warning labels on pesticides after the EPA has already approved them as safe. If SCOTUS takes the case, it could shape how federal versus state authority plays out in pesticide regulations.
This is huge because if the court agrees with Bayer, it could stop some of these lawsuits in their tracks. Meanwhile, states are also stepping in. Georgia passed a law, SB 144, backing the EPA's authority on pesticide safety. This is the second state to do this after North Dakota.
Will Bentley, the president of the Georgia Agribusiness Council, called it, and I quote, "a major victory for Georgia's top industry, agriculture." And Bayer's Brian Neighbor echoed that, saying the law gives farmers the certainty they need to keep producing safe and affordable food.
So what does this mean for agriculture? In short, more legal clarity could help protect access to key crop protecting tools and possibly help food control prices down the line.
But the bigger thing to watch, whether the Supreme Court agrees to hear the case. If they do, we're looking at a nationwide impact on pesticide labeling and liability.
Ready for more Supreme Court news? The Prop 12 drama is far from over. If you thought the Supreme Court ruling last year wrapped this one up with a neat little bow, time to think again.
Prop 12 is California's animal welfare law that sets minimum space requirements for livestock used in meat and egg production. It doesn't just apply to California farms, though. It impacts anyone selling those products in the state. That includes pork producers and egg producers from all over the United States.
A new website, foodpricefix.com, just dropped, courtesy of the Center for Environment and Welfare. It's part of the national push to get Congress more involved. The campaign includes TV ads and a letter-writing effort aimed at one thing, getting the feds stepping up.
According to CEW, pork prices in California are up 20%, and egg prices have tripled since Prop 12 took effect in 2022. Here's what CEW is saying, quote, "Prop 12 is driving up food prices for American families and creating chaos in national supply chains, all for rules set by a single state."
But not everyone's buying it. While some producers have adopted to meet the laws, others argue it's unfair and opens the door to more state-level mandates that could complicate national food production.
Where is this battleground moving to now? The 2025 Farm Bill. Look for the EATS Act, That's the Ending Agriculture Trade Suppression Act, which would ban states from setting production rules that apply across borders.
Speaking of different kinds of eats, there's new news in the world of food additives.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved 3 new natural food color additives, marking a significant step in the move away from synthetic dyes.
The newly approved additives are Glideria Extract Blue, derived from red algae. This blue hue is now approved for use in various products, including beverages, candies, and dairy items. Butterfly pea flower extract, also known as the vivid blue to green shade. This extract's usage has been expanded to be included in cereals, snacks, and chips. And lastly, calcium phosphate, a mineral-based white colorant, is now permitted in items like ready-to-eat chicken products and candies.
The FDA's move reflects growing consumer demand for quote unquote cleaner labels and natural ingredients. This initiative aligns with Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign to phase out petroleum based synthetic dyes by 2026.
So, the next time you're enjoying a brightly colored treat, it might just be nature's palette at work.
You know, Savannah, we didn't talk about yellow 5 food dye, which is used to help create a clear or light yellow hue. Our next headline is about a product that uses yellow 5, Sprite.
Because the soda wars are on. In a surprising twist, Sprite has outpaced Pepsi to become America's third favorite soft beverage. According to the 2024 data from Beverage Digest, soda now holds 8.03% of the U.S. soft drink markets, edging out Pepsi's 7.97%.
This success is largely attributed to Sprite's strategic marketing moves. The brand revived its iconic Obey Your Thirst campaign, featuring NBA star Anthony Edwards and Olympic sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sprite also introduced innovative digital experiences like Obey Days and Sprite Squad, engaging customers through QR codes and text-based activations linked to music, sports, and fashion, along with a successful product launch of Sprite Chill, a cherry-flavored Sprite, became a permanent addition after generating $100 million in sales within 1 year.
Sprite's ascent underscores the power of cultural relevance and innovation in today's food marketing.
I mean, Braeden, I'm usually a Dr. Pepper gal, but might have to give this Sprite the respect it deserves this year.
Well, it looks like you're going to have plenty of time to go get yourself one because that just so happened to be our last headline.
With that, thanks for listening to another episode of Magnetic Ag Years Edition.
Hungry for more?
Subscribe to our twice weekly newsletter for more industry news right in your inbox.
Or follow along on socials at magnetic.ag for more trends and headlines.
Thanks for listening to Magnetic Ag Years Edition.